Far Cry is a classic series that has always managed to keep itself fresh generation after generation of consoles. And with no signs of slowing down, let's break everything we know about the upcoming Far Cry 6. As always, all the links to the sources, if still available, will be down below, so make sure to check those out and support. Also, make sure to follow me on Twitter and Instagram for alternative thumbnails and updates on future videos. And with that out of the way, let's get right into it. Now, the developer and publisher of the Far Cry series, Ubisoft, has previously mentioned earlier in the year in an earnings call that they wanted to release 5 AAA games between April of 2020 and March of 2021, and later clarified that 3 of the games will be released by the end of calendar year 2020. So from now to December 31st, we will see 3 of their AAA games be released, and the other 2 will follow sometime before March 31st. And we currently know 3 of those titles. The first one is Watch Dogs Legion. That title was originally going to be released on March 6, 2020, but was delayed and moved to sometime in this new time frame. The other game we know about is Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six Quarantine, which has a release date of sometime in 2020. And the last game we have confirmed is Gods and Monsters, which also has a release date of 2020. So most likely these are the 3 games that have the 2020 release date unless things are really getting moved around. And the remaining 2 secret games are going to be released early 2021. Ubisoft had said nothing about the remaining 2 games until Kotaku's Jason Schreier took to Twitter and let out some more information. He said, quote, "Anyone holding out hope for Splinter Cell is, once again, going to be disappointed. Sorry, it's Assassin's Creed and Far Cry." So he's saying that these remaining 2 games that will be released sometime in early 2021 are Assassin's Creed and a new Far Cry title, which most likely ties these games to 2021. Now, if we keep moving on, there are some leaks from 4chan, which should always be taken with a grain of salt. These leaks, if they are to be believed, they point to which Ubisoft studios are developing some of their upcoming titles. So the leak claims that Ubisoft Toronto and Ubisoft Reflections are both working on Far Cry 6. Ubisoft Toronto has previously worked on For Honor, Watch Dogs 2, Far Cry 5, Far Cry Primal, Watch Dogs Legion, and so many more games. They have a really good reputation and have developed a lot of the Far Cry series. While Ubisoft Reflections has also worked on both Division titles, Far Cry 5, all of the Watch Dogs games, and a lot more as well. So both studios are more than well equipped to handle development of Far Cry 6 if this leak is to be believed. One other interesting piece of news from this leak is they also mentioned that Ubisoft Berlin is working on Far Cry 5.5, one of their spin-off titles that they do between games, which signs currently point to this being a multiplayer-only Far Cry experience, which is very strange, but that's a whole other video. Just wanted to stick that out there for something else to look forward to. And the only other news we have about Far Cry 6 comes from a Reddit post where a user claimed they received a survey from Ubisoft which said, quote, "Among this list of settings, which ones would you like to see a new Far Cry take place in?" and allowed the user to select 3 settings. The options were Northern Canadian territories, on another planet, a post-apocalyptic world, India, Cuba, the steppes of Alaska, Russia/Siberia, the jungles of South America, the jungles of Vietnam, an African country, the Sahara region, Australia, North Korea, New Zealand, and a spot to write in an answer if they thought somewhere else should be the prime location. And if this survey is actually being used to influence the game is really anyone's guess. We don't know if they're maybe even looking further ahead than Far Cry 6, or if this survey was meant to impact Far Cry 6. It was a good sign. At the time of recording, this survey is over a year old, so it is a good sign they were asking for community feedback and kind of seeing what certain individuals thought about certain areas. So we'll just have to wait and see though what this means for the release of the game. We know Ubisoft moves very quick in developing games, and let's just hope it's ready by that 2021 timeframe. And for the most part, that's everything we know about Far Cry 6. It's coming soon. You guys don't have too much longer to wait, and it has some really good development behind it. And it could be in a fan favorite location, depending on if this poll is to be believed. Make sure to like and share this video, subscribe for weekly gaming news, and I will see you guys in the next one.